Hey everyone, welcome to today's class. In today's class, we are going to look into coding to the download processes and setup, right? So in our last class, we talked about front end versus back end web development, what they are, their differences, and all of that. And we also looked into, what full stack development is and different stacks we have, right? So if you haven't seen that video, make sure you go back and watch that video. It's very important. In that video we gave a detailed meaning and differences of what full stack development is, front end and back end web development, and different stacks that we have, right? Because it's going to help you, then you can decide which one you want to go into. If you can go into a full stack web development, you can go into a front end web development or back end, and you can become a main full stack developer or a main full stack developer, whichever one you want to be, right? So if you're coming across this channel for the first time, welcome to Code with Chris. In this channel, this channel is dedicated in teaching web development from scratch for free. So if you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Also like, comment, and share. And also don't forget to follow us on other platforms like Facebook and TikTok at the same handle, Code with Christ, right? And remember, always comment, like, and share, right? If you have any question, you can always drop it down at the comment section, right? So today we're going to look into our coding tool, and we're going to use a popular coding tool known as Visual Studio Code. Visual Studio Code, it is like this. This is the icon, right? This is also the icon. So Visual Studio Code, right? And there are different ways you can download Visual Studio Code. You can download it from your Microsoft Store. So you just go here, you search for Visual Studio Code. So this is the one we are talking about. So you click on install, right? You are going to have it. Or you can download it from your browser at their website, their official website. You can search for code you download, right? So these are the ways you can actually download your Visual Studio Code. So once you download it, you are going to have it in your desktop like this, or it's going to be inside your Explorer, right? Your file Explorer. So now, after the download process, next thing to do is to create a folder. We're going to create a folder for our class. So this folder is going to help us to be more organized and all of that. So we are going to create a folder. So you come to your desktop, and then you right click and you see new. So you click on new, then you see folder, right? So you create a folder. You can name it anything, but I'll name my own tutorial, right? So I'll name it tutorial. Okay. This folder has existed before, all right? So I'll name it another thing. So I can name it YouTube class. I can name it YouTube class. All right. So this is the folder. Now we already have our folder. So what next is to open our folder in our VS Code, the VS Code we just downloaded, right? So there are two ways you can open your VS Code, your folder in your VS Code. You can actually, from this folder, you drag and drop it. This is the VS Code app, web app. So I can actually drag. Okay, I will drag and then drop it at this VS Code. So it's going to open. So it has opened, right? So we are going to see a welcome file, right? So we're going to close it. So this is one way we can actually open our folder in our VS Code. The next way we can open it is we just open our VS Code itself without dragging and dropping. Just open your VS Code. You will still see an empty, this is how the environment is going to be, and also a welcome file. So if you've done that, you just go to file at this top. So you click on file. So when you click on file, you are going to see open folder, right? So you click on open folder. So it's going to open your file explorer. your file explorer, you can now locate where you actually saved your folder. It could be in document, so wherever it is you locate it. So mine is under desktop, so I can actually look for it. So this is it. Then I click it and then select folder, so it will open like this. So the two ways you can actually use to open your VS, your folder in your VS Code, right? So now this is at the top here we have file. So under this file, if you click it, we are going to see, where we can create a new file, window, open file, open folder, open workspace, open recent folder. So this where all the if you have more than one folders, this is where you're going to see it, recent folders you have. And then one of the things we're going to do first is to put it in auto save, to put our code editor in auto save, so that whenever we write our code, it will save by itself, instead of you always, when you write a line of code, you save, write a line of code, you save, right? So the first thing to do is just to put it in auto save, right? So under here we see edit. So this is where we can undo, redo, cut, copy, paste, find, replace files and all of that. So here under select we see other things like extension selection, copy line up, copy line down, blah blah blah. So you can actually go through, just navigate around the workspace, just be comfortable around the workspace. It is your workspace, it is where you write your code. Just navigate around, right? So we see view. Under view we have our open view, appearance, edit layout or editor layout, explorer, search, source control, run, extensions and all of that. So under here we have go. Now for go we have switch editor, switch group, go to file and all of that. So you can just go through all of them. And then under run we have start a debug. Debugs are for error. Start a debug, run without debugging and all of that. Then these three dots, we have our terminal, right? Our terminal, this is when we are using a framework, or we are trying to push our code to GitHub. We can actually open our terminal. So under we see new terminal, and all of that. So here we have our explorer. This is our explorer. So inside this box, this is where we are going to be creating our files and folders, different file folder. So under here you see, to create a new file, you click here, we create a new file. Then to create a new folder inside this particular folder, we click here, right? So to refresh, we refresh from here. And also to collapse folder, we collapse folder from here, right? So now under here we have search, right? So this search, we can actually, maybe if you are typing and you want to change a keyword, you can actually come here and search, and then replace is a way easier, is easier to actually replace, search and replace a group of keyword. Let's say you make a mistake, instead of writing code, you wrote code, and instead of you going line by line to search for the code and start adding s, you can actually search for code and then replace it with codes, right? So that is it. And then for this we have source control, right? So source control refers to the integration of version control systems like GitHub, allowing developers to manage changes to their code base, right? So it is actually used for Git, integration, commit history, branch management, conflict resolution, and all of that. So this just for helps us to push our code in GitHub. So under here we have run debugs, right? So we can run debugs. We have an error, we run debugs. Under here we have extensions, right? So what are extensions? So extensions are add-on that enhance functionality of VS Code, right? It's add-on that enhances the functionality of VS Code. You know, it helps you to actually customize your VS Code the way you like it, starting from the theme and all of that. So it just helps you to improve the existing features of VS Code itself, right? So you can actually customize, it can increase your productivity and also, you know, increase your the kind of the vibe you have around the VS Code itself. So, and there are few important extensions you have to download as a beginner. There are few extensions you must download as a beginner. This, of course, extension makes it easier. It helps your productivity in coding, right? It helps you to customize your VS Code the way you like it, your theme color, and all of that. So one of the most important extension you are going to install is live server. Now this live server helps you run your code inside, run it immediately from your code to your browser, right? You can also install, live preview. So live preview is also a good feature, a good extension you can actually install. So this extension is mostly useful for projects where a server is not ready created. So you can actually run your code, right? So now you can also install material icon theme space, right? So these are the purpose of extension, right? So now that is it for our tool and installation, and also um you know um working around it. So you can actually change. Another thing you can do is to change the size, the font of your VS Code. You can actually increase the font. Is at the font here by default is at 14. You can increase it to maybe 16 or 18, whichever you like, right? So that it's going to come out bolder. So that is it for installation and also navigating around, right? So in our next class, we are going to start our coding proper. We are going to be, creating our first HTML file, index.html, and then we dive into our coding proper. So make sure you install and install your VS Code, and also install all the extensions necessary for the class. Thank you for watching. Also, don't forget to like, comment, and share. If you have not subscribed, make sure you subscribe and turn on your notification bell so that you'll be the first to be notified whenever new video drops. Thank you.